Hi, I'm Anina Rubio, a visual artist, yoga teacher, and environmental advocate. I've been in the creative industry for a decade, so since 2014. Through that journey, I discovered a lot of things about myself. So I ventured into doing a lot of meditation and eventually ended up going to India, to the birthplace of yoga, to study yoga. And here I am as a yoga teacher and a meditation coach. But in terms of taking care of the environment, actually, I started in the industry not really caring about the environment. And then eventually, when I started to learn how to swim, I was welcomed with the floating debris of garbage. And that's when I realized, like, okay, wait, I must have contributed to this mess during my 29 years of existence. Not just because of guilt, but I knew that at that moment, I had to do something about it. I realized that, okay, this is something I could honestly do my entire life. I was really jumping from one profession to another. But eventually, I realized now looking back, engineering taught me problem solving. Farming reconnected me to nature, and this is why I'm advocating for the environment. My stint as a brand manager taught me how to put myself out there. So everything made sense now that I'm doing this freelance job on my own. When I started posting about like World Oceans Day or, painting with communities, people started resonating with the art, and I wasn't even overthinking. Basically, I was just sticking to my values, to my core. I was just doing what I wanted to do. People who resonated with it just started following and started sharing. So it's the same with the advocacy. Parang when people started, I realized na, art transcends into something like beautiful, into something more purposeful. Whenever I create art, it's a collaboration between me and nature. Because I feel that, I cannot take anything from nature, but nature is there to inspire me. Literally, like color palette, patterns, texture. So if you've seen my textile art, it's here. You can see that the abstractions that I made is based off of the things that I see. So whenever I create something, it's actually me sharing to the audience my beautiful experience with nature. For everyone who lives in the city, we're mostly surrounded by concrete. So I feel that there's a disconnect. But through art, through the paintings, through the plants that I paint, I feel that somehow I am able to bridge the gap between, nature and humans. For me, art is more tangible. It is easier to relate to understand, and it really evokes different emotions. And once you involve them in your piece, it's like you are also creating an invisible connection to your audience without literally like connecting, right? But through that, when they're able to relate to what you're doing, for example, they see a beautiful plant, I'm like, oh, this plant exists, but it's endangered, right? And then it becomes empowering because if they know about this, like if they have awareness, and then if they relate to the piece that you create, then they are also empowered to protect it. So if you are an artist or a creative, try not to overthink it. Like you don't have to create like a massive painting just to say, okay, like I'm advocating for the environment, but shucks, I need 1 month to create a painting. No, start small. Like small steps. Parang we have to remove the limiting belief na we always have to create something big immediately for it to have a big impact. You influence one person, that's good enough. But you change the behavior of your family members by like cutting down on plastic usage or yung mga straws, that's good enough. Diba? Start within your circle, within your environment. My mantra has always been tiwala lang. Like, tiwala lang like sa sarili. and sa people you surround yourself with, because community is important. And when I say community, it's not like external lang na people you don't know also, but community also includes your immediate family, your friends, people who would say, oh, ang ganda ng gawa mo, kahit parang nagda-doubt ka. Kasi sometimes you only need one person to say, uy, ang galing, or uy, kaya mo yan, 'di ba? I'm always competing with myself. So it was very difficult for me to build a team and let them do it. That was my primary challenge, because I have a particular perception and vision of how I want the artwork to look like, right? And then other people will paint it. So parang I was micromanaging at first. But then I later on realized that I have to be able to teach this to them, so that I don't need to be like, yung stroke, no, up, no, mali yan, di ba? Parang, ang hirap hindi mag-micromanage, especially when the artwork is parang your brand or your output, right? But eventually, yun nga, you have to trust that other people can also do it. You have to empower them that they can do it. If you are aligned to the people you surround yourself with, to your work, then you are also aligned to yourself. So you are more efficient, you have better energy. So it will all like fall into place. This is based off of my personal experience. It's really about staying true and authentic to yourself. Because if you are true to your voice, true to your values, true to your core, everything else will fall into place. The people who will resonate with your art will resonate because they are aligned to your values, and the rest who don't, it's okay. Art in the end is more than just aesthetics. It's also a tool for you to create the stories you want to tell, your beautiful experiences, right? The beautiful sceneries you've seen during your trips, the beautiful people you've met along the way, for people who paint portraits, right? Also for the advocacies that you are fighting for.
Simpol.ph, living made simple.